subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
2 a.m. Come on, brother.
Yes, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Good 2 a.m. How are you?
I'm good. I am a bit confused about some of the recent tweets regarding the undoubtedly, terrible situation that unfolded yesterday.
Okay.
I just, and I think that the way you phrase things, very smart. You're an intellectual man.
Right.
But several times in several tweets after Charlie Kirk had been assassinated, you used the phrase "suspected white supremacist." So I'm just confused on that, right? Because I don't know if have you watched any of his full debates, or do you just see the clips like everyone else and make your own assumptions or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Because it seems like
yeah, I've seen this stuff, and Charlie Kirk has denigrated me personally. He's made tweets about me several times, and
right.
yeah, so
But the difference is you're not dead.
right.
You didn't get assassinated.
I don't have
You know,
to read a tweet. I don't know what that.
you're not as a public figure as he is. You're not as influential as Charlie Kirk is.
I'm kind of sort of am, but yeah, I'm
No chance in
yeah.
hell. Just pure numbers. No chance in.
No. I think I'm probably more because I'm really grassroots and he's not. He was funded by white billionaires. So yeah, I'm probably more.
I mean, that's opinions anyway, right? Regardless.
I don't get no money from no billionaires. No billionaires fund me. And I'm pretty influential and it's really grassroots. He wasn't grassroots. Yeah, if you got
So I have a
if you
question.
got dozens of white billionaires propping you up and the president propping you up, yeah, you might get some followers. Yeah. And they still
How long? So
yeah, and they
I do have it. So you say this, right? Like he started before he turned 18 doing politics, right? So do you think he had people propping him up when he was 17, 18,
yeah,
19?
yeah, there was an organization he was a part of as a teen. So he's always been clicked in these inner circles with the money. So yeah, he's always been clicked in. He was never a grassroots guy. This guy was groomed early on. There was big money put behind this dude. Millions of dollars. Turning Point Production. Turning Point US.
Right. But I mean, you're very careful still, right? Like with how you put it, right? You say suspected white supremacists. So you're not, because how diminishing that type of language can be to, people trying to actually come together and unite.
Nope.
Because I think we can all agree that someone being assassinated
Together and unite what?
I would say that as a country, right? We can all say
together and unite what? Somebody who Charlie Kirk denigrated black people till his death.
listen, no, so he had talking points.
No. That was denigrating. He denigrated us. His very last
His
last words was denigrating us, sir. So what are you saying?
sir. Listen, he look, I've let you speak. This is your space. I understand, but if you're gonna mute me every 5 seconds just because you're threatened by like an intellectual conversation, then that's pretty embarrassing on your part, right? I'm not near as influential as
you can't talk over us here, sir. That's what I'm saying. What you cannot do, you're not going to come in here and just try to control everything by talking over people. We don't do that here.
We're the only two people speaking, sir. I mean, if you're a man, we can talk over each other.
Talking over me. You can't do that.
What, like, where were you raised, sir? If you don't,
I know a lot of suspected white supremacists want to control the narrative, but we have decorum here. Sir. We have decorum here.
Sir, you just called me a suspected white supremacist.
Right, I did.
And you about decorum.
Now, what you're trying to do is take over. A lot of suspected white supremacists think they can come around black spaces and just kind of play slave master and control everything, and it doesn't work like that here. Slow down.
Sir, no one's trying to take
down. I'm not trying to. I want to hear what you have to say. I actually want to hear what you have to say. but you're going to listen. You're not just coming in and just rattle off talking points. And
Right.
you ask me a question and then I answer and you start cutting me off. No, we
Right.
don't do that. Now
Well,
hold on. I
yeah,
got
I
I
understand.
got Dan here. I got another brother in here. We're gonna talk. We got Dan. Let me
Yes, sir.
introduce you to Dan. Dan, this is 2 a.m.
Yeah, what's going on, Flex? How you doing 2 a.m.?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I've been better. So, you said so
Yes.
Charlie Kirk started TPUSA when he was 18 years old.
Yes, he started very
No,
early
facts.
on. I'm not sure if it was
Did you?
18,
Yeah,
but very
it
early
was
on. Yes.
17, 18, 17, 18 around that point. Do you know who his father
Yes,
was?
sir. I'm
Hello?
2 a.m. Are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
2 a.m. got real quiet. 2 a.m.
So for
muted.
those of
Yeah,
the
I
you
was
know who his
muted,
father was?
sir. I was
What you
muted,
talking about?
sir.
How?
You muted me when you. I was
It was
muted.
a double.
No, I
So,
think it was a double mute. So it
well,
does
it
that
was it
sometimes.
was glitched up. No, please enlighten me. Who is his father, and how is that relevant to his assassination and the detrimental
I
words
got
that
you. I
Tariq
got
has
you.
said after his
I got you. I
assassination?
got you. I got you. Cool. I got you. Cool. So Charlie Kirk's father was Robert W. Kirk, and he was the project architect manager for Trump Tower in the 80s. So he was he came from a very wealthy family, and he decided to dive straight into politics. So he had that type of funding behind him when he decided to start Turning Point USA.
Okay. Does
All right,
that
so
does that yeah. Okay.
we about to connect the dots. So let's take a walk here, right? So
Right.
he goes into listen. He goes into
I'm listening.
politics.
I'm listening
Extremely
to you.
You sure? Because you're doing a lot of talking. Anyway, he
Yeah,
goes
his
into
father.
politics.
Okay.
All right, say it again one more time.
I said his father, right, was a wealthy man. He jumped straight into politics. I'm listening to you.
Gotcha. That's the Trump connection. He was a architect on the building
Okay.
for Trump Tower. So he had a lot of support. Charlie Kirk isn't what you would consider grassroots. He is
Okay.
he's corporately sponsored. Man's running around with Trump merch, official
Right.
Trump merch. So that being said, him being I don't think he was assassinated. I mean, he got killed. I mean,
I mean,
people
if
people get
a
killed every day.
political
So
if a political figure is killed, it's a terrorist attack. It's an
what?
assassination. He
Real
was
quick, what
killed for his
office?
words.
What
He
office did he
wasn't
hold?
killed because he tried to incite violence on people. He was killed for his words and his political
What
views.
office
That's a
did he hold?
terrorist attack.
What was his official office in government?
It doesn't matter. He's a political figure. He's
I'm
a he's
saying
a
I'm asking you what was his official office. So I understand.
in government.
Yeah.
He didn't have an official office in government.
Oh, okay. So some deranged person just shot him, correct?
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying he
Like
was just shot by somebody, right?
the
Doesn't mean he was
he
assassinated.
was no, he was assassinated. It was this is a
I mean, if that's what you
very
want to say.
public. This is a very public killing. This was for a purpose, right? This wasn't just
We don't
we
know. I
all
mean, we
hate
don't know.
Charlie.
Do you know do you
Right.
know the person that shot him?
From the details that have already been put out about the weapon and the bullets and everything like that, I think we could come to a quick assumption. But like you
No,
know,
okay.
assumptions kill,
Me
right? So
personally, though,
I
I
will.
think the term
Right.
suspected white supremacist definitely fed him because a lot of people
Okay.
suspected him of being a white supremacist. Matter of
Okay.
fact,
So
one of his close friends. Listen. Her name is
I'm
Angela
listening, but
Staton.
let me speak
Angela
after this. I'll
Staton
listen.
King, right? Yeah, you're
Okay.
talking while I'm talking, and then you ask me to speak after. Like impulse control, sir. Calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Nobody's rushing you off stage. You haven't been muted. We just have the conversation.
Yes,
Anyway,
sir. I'm here.
your name's 2 a.m. You should be more comfortable at this time. Anyway, Angela Staton King. She is a conservative commentator. She works with RFK, and she posted a personal message between her, Charlie Kirk, and another person. And in it, she was upset about his depiction of Martin Luther King, and she was kind of taking on task about it. And he was like, "Oh, I'll take this into consideration as feedback." So this is the closest people to him, according to him and them. And they were like, well, black people, that is, right? And they were saying they didn't like some of the things he was saying. And a lot of the stats that he put out were grossly misrepresented. For example, he liked to use the 1350 rule. Now, what they don't tell you is that is 13% of the population. When they talk about 50%, they're talking about arrests, not actual convictions. And of those convictions, black people lead the highest of overturned convictions at 58%. So when they do convict people and they get it wrong, 58% of those wrong convictions are black people. So that means the person who is most likely to be wrongfully charged for a crime is also black Americans. So he knows that stat. He's smart enough to know that. But he's smart enough to know that a lot of people won't actually look into the numbers. So if he's misrepresenting the numbers to make a specific group look bad, then we have to look at what it is. This is why it's suspect. I mean, we don't know for sure. This is a suspect. I mean, it's just, a suspicion we have. Charlie Kirk has made an entire career off of grifting Black Death. When George Floyd died, not saying he was a saint, let me just be clear. When George Floyd died, he's the main person saying, "Oh, it was a fentanyl overdose." And then he recently made a statement about congratulations on his 5th year of sobriety, being edgy. So I think when they open a door to cracking jokes about dead people, I think it's just kind of, I think it's safe to say, it's okay. Like me personally, I think he should have ducked. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to insult the man, but we all know a duck would have helped. And I'm looking forward to the new line of bulletproof turtlenecks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, regardless of who his father is, right? Like, my main point coming on here is I think we can all agree that anyone killed that publicly, in such a way, that's not a good thing, and no one should, you know, go out of their way to celebrate that
He did.
or bash someone.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Right.
that was his
And
whole
that's
stick, bro.
besides the
Look,
point. That's a
No,
fallacy. That's one of the fallacies, though. Just
hold on,
because.
hold
No,
on.
listen.
Just real.
Can I speak?
Let me.
I let you guys
No,
speak.
no,
Can I
no,
speak? Can I
no. We'll let you
speak for
speak. I
one?
just want to
Let me
understand something.
speak, please.
I got you. I
Let me
got you.
speak, please.
Hey, I'm gonna go on mute
All
after this.
right.
I want to
Well, I've
understand
let you.
something, right? No, for
All
sure.
right. Let me
I
speak
just want to understand
for.
something. I got you. I
Let
got
me
you. I got
speak.
you.
Let me speak.
Let me
Let
just
me
ask this
speak.
clarifying. Let me just ask a
No, bro.
clarifying question real
I've
quick,
let you
right?
speak, and I've
So,
let
are
you
you
demean me and be
saying
like,
that
you won't let
Charlie
us
Kirk,
speak.
who went
No,
on
I'm
his show
saying.
on a weekly
I'm
basis
saying,
and spoke about the people getting murdered in Chicago as
sir,
animals, right, being shot
sir,
publicly? You saying that it's not okay to
sir.
make a joke about it
I'm
after he made jokes about
saying,
dead people?
I'm saying that no one that makes jokes about someone else dying, it's not okay.
So even
Regardless,
when Charlie
it,
Kirk
it
did, it wasn't
doesn't
okay.
matter. It's a fallacy. Okay, it's like,
Kirk mocked damn near
can I
every
speak? Are you gonna let me speak,
every black person that got killed by the police or whoever. Charlie Kirk mocked them and minimized them.
sir? Okay, sir. I've let you speak, and I've let Daniel speak. I've been very
You didn't let shit. This is my space. You didn't let nothing. You're a guest here. You don't let nobody. You're not. This ain't your juke joint. Let's get that straight. You didn't let nobody speak. We're allowing you to speak when we're done speaking. So you don't come in here trying to call no shots.
Okay,
Oh,
I haven't been trying.
all
I've
right.
waited for you guys to speak, but every time I try to
Okay.
say any kind of.
You got a very bad habit of talking over people. When Brother Dan was trying to talk, you kept talking over him. You don't have to rush. We want to hear what you have to say.
Sir,
All
okay,
right. We
you speak over me every time I try to speak.
because
Okay, and you're gonna sit here and try to say I try to.
you can't control yourself. So that's why I have to come on in and bring some decorum here, sir. You can't control.
All I, sir,
So you
all I
go ahead.
said, sir, is it's a fallacy. Saying that it's wrong for him to say, make fun of people to die, it means that it's okay for you to make fun of him because he's died, is a major fallacy. That's like saying, oh, I dumped a gallon of gas into the river, but it's okay because the coal
So
manufacturer plant down the.
trying to hold everybody up to a standard that he didn't uphold to, huh?
Because we should
He
strive
himself
to be
said
better
he said
individuals. Do
whoa.
you
He
not want to be
himself
better?
said
Oh
he doesn't
You
believe in
want to be
empathy.
better than Charlie
no,
Kirk, right?
He said he
That's
don't
the
believe
whole
in
point.
empathy.
no.
He said he don't
But you're
believe in
not
empathy.
better than Charlie Kirk because you only have 400,000 followers.
You're not about to guilt
He
trip
had
us into not
millions.
laughing at
He
this.
was
Listen.
beloved.
He
He was
did this to
beloved by
himself.
millions of college
The man
kids.
said out of his own
Like,
mouth, he is not a fan of empathy. He said he thinks it's a weak emotion. So he wasn't a fan of empathy. As a matter of fact, his whole stick was
where's
grifting
that
death.
clip at? Where's the proof for this?
Oh, there's
Google it.
Let's see that.
It's out there. Trust me. Google it.
Google it,
Listen,
brother. Like, you're just presenting things as facts.
tell you what, right. You understand, right? That all of this stuff we're saying is public record. He literally made this statement. As a matter of fact, Charlie Kirk was one of the most unapologetic people ever about how he felt and thought. That's the reason why a lot of people
He
liked him.
believes in
And
what he
I
believes.
actually respect that part about him. However, I do respect that about him. He was very unapologetic about his statements, which is why I have no problem cracking these jokes. Because when he cracked those
You
jokes
do
about
realize
George Floyd, I
a lot
never
of
said
his
a single thing. I didn't
yeah,
say he was wrong. I just said, oh, okay, it is what it is. But when he gets killed, I find
right,
it amazing. Y'all want to come up here with these moral high grounds.
right.
Look, it's our
No,
culture
I said
as
that
Black American culture, right?
it's a
It is our culture to crack jokes, right? Whether you dead or alive, we're gonna get our jokes off. It is what it is. He asked for this shit. Now, do I think anybody? Look, let me clear on this, right? Unnatural loss of life is unfortunate under any circumstance. I don't condone that. However,
okay,
this is a man who made a
great.
living off of Black death. As a matter of fact, they was asking him when he about some trans shooter, and this nigga talked about gang violence. It's just poetic that as soon as he talked about gang violence, the last word out of his mouth was grifting Black death. So it's truly unfortunate that he passed away, that children lost their father, that a wife lost her husband. However, this is profession he chose. The man had a bulletproof vest on. He knew this was the risk that came with this. Unfortunately, he didn't have one around his neck. And this is the shit he himself said. Look it up. It's a 12-second clip. You can go find it. They posted all over the place. He said he don't believe in empathy. I mean, I'm
Right.
not
So
making fun
I've
of
got a
him for getting
question for
shot.
you.
It's the irony we're laughing at.
Do you believe the 12-second clip you saw was taken out of context? Because
No,
I've
no.
seen multiple clips. I've seen multiple clips of Charlie Kirk speaking about certain topics that are taken massively out of context just to incite people and make them upset. So, would you say that this is
No, I
what you're
wouldn't.
doing? You're just taking these 13-second
No,
clips
not
of
really. I
him
mean, I
saying
think when
something, and you're not talking about anything he said before the
What
13
was what
seconds?
was taken out of Charlie Kirk would double down on his anti-Black racism.
Sir, if 13 seconds worth of
There's no 13. This man just went on and on with his anti-Black racism. So there's no context. This man, his whole shtick was denigrating Black people. So what context are you talking about?
Yeah, he would deflect from an actual subject to talk about Black
That's
people
not
bad.
true at all.
Okay,
That's
so
not
look,
true at
right?
all. That's not true.
Watch this, watch
It's
this. What
just
did
not
Charlie
true.
Kirk
What you're saying is just not true.
what was Charlie Kirk
I
take
mean,
on the Epstein
whatever you
files?
believe, that's
What was
great. You have
Charlie
an
Kirk take
opinion,
on the
but it's
Epstein
not
files?
true.
What was Charlie Kirk take on the Epstein files?
He didn't build his he did not build his
What
political career,
was
whatever you
his
want to call
take
it,
on the
over
Epstein
denigrating
files?
Yes,
black
he did.
people.
Yes, he really
He
did. But
preached about
what
God.
was his
He
take?
preached
What
about
else did he build it off of? Because all he talked about was how Black folks wasn't shit and how every Black person who got shot deserved it. What
that is not true. That is not true. He never said
what
that he never said verbatim every black person that got shot deserved it. He
He
never said.
said, and
every
I
time a Black person got shot, he would justify it every single time.
You're sensationally
and blame it on Black culture. That was his thing. It's the culture. The culture needs to change. You guys have a fatherless culture. Like he went on recently. Is this show called Surrounded on Jubilee? Go check it out. He told the lady that they were better off during Jim Crow and slavery.
Right.
And there's no out of context because he doubled down on that shit. And he was like, the last 80 years has been a disaster. He even called the Civil Rights Bill a mistake. He randomly went after Dr. Martin Luther King. And this is what pissed a lot of his Sambo supporters were pissed off about that. He didn't give a fuck. I mean, excuse my language, he didn't care. And the thing is, he always was like that. So when we say suspected white supremacists, I mean, and then white supremacists have also stated that they watch him and the
well, look.
Tucker Carlson guy for their talking points.
Oh,
So it's like you can try to defend. And I get it, but you trying to defend the indefensible. Again, no
I'm
one's
not trying to
celebrating his
defend
death.
him.
I just find it strangely. You ever
I
hear about a
think
piano
I'm
player getting killed by a piano falling? That's
sir.
called irony. Oh well, the keys took him out
Mhm.
this time, right? That's called irony. We're laughing at the irony that he got
The-
killed by a piano, not the fact that he actually got killed, right? So the fact that Charlie Kirk last words out of his mouth was gang violence and he got shot by somebody from his own race is poetic at best. I mean, I'm not trying to say my heart goes out to his family. However, excuse me if I don't mourn for a guy who made a whole living
No one's
grifting
asking
Black
you
death.
to mourn over someone you don't
I mean,
know.
hey, wasn't he calling for a pardon of Derek Chauvin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he was.
You know who else was calling for that pardon? The KKK of
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, endorsed by the ones in Arkansas and Michigan. So I'm not saying he's a white supremacist. I'm just saying that a lot of his points tend to line up with what they got going on. You do with that what you will.
Right.
And Charlie Kirk even took the Epstein files, right? He was actually upset about it at first. And then he immediately, along with Ian Miles Chong and the rest of those guys and Elon Musk, anytime the heats get on the Republicans, like the H-1B1 visa stuff, the first thing they do is they shift the conversation back to black people bad. They have been grifting black. They've been pushing that 1350 statistic like crazy, even though it's arrest records, and they don't actually add the overturned convictions inside of those. Every week you hear about some guy, black guy, doing 20, 30 years behind a murder he didn't commit and then being exonerated. You don't hear them talk about that. You want to know why they don't talk
No,
about that? Because they
that's
want to
because
biasly push a negative
that's a
narrative.
talking point you just made up. There's no proof
That's
of
not a
that
talking
at all.
point.
There's
There's
zero
there's
proof
no
that
proof
that's
that.
true.
You
You
know
have
what?
no
Look,
proof that's true.
you on Twitter right now. Put in Gronk right now and ask him what's the percentage of black overturned convictions of murder.
No,
Do
I'm
that
talking about
right
the
now.
second thing you said. I'm talking about the second
What was
thing
the
you
second thing I said? What was the second thing I
said.
said?
Grok, but what is it, percentage overturns or what? Let's see here.
No, how many black murder convictions are overturned? The percentage of black overturned. I mean, look at the percentage of overturned murder convictions. How many of those are black? Yeah, see, it's real simple. It's right at your fingertips.
I mean, I'm looking it up here. We're about to find out.
Yep.
We're about to. It says 13.6% of exonerations.
That's not right.
Black people comprise 53% of all known exonerations, despite being 13.6% of the population.
There we go. So that means black people are more likely to be arrested for a murder they didn't commit.
Okay. I mean, that
So
doesn't have anything to
wait,
do.
let me ask something. Do you think Charlie Kirk is an intelligent? My bad. You think he was an intelligent person?
See, the fact that you just laughed about that is insane to me.
No,
But yes,
no,
I
my
do.
bad.
I do believe he is an
Okay,
intelligent or was an intelligent
okay.
person.
He
I
was an
would never
intelligent person. All right,
laugh
so just
about
so
someone else's death like
it's
that.
all good. It's all good. It's all good. I listen to drill music. I'm a sensitive this.
Right.
So if he was
Sure.
an intelligent person, you think he knew that too?
You think he knew? I'm fairly certain he had a much stronger grasp about all of the
Yeah.
statistics
So if
than
he
I did.
did that, then why didn't he talk about that?
Well, I still think that if you would listen to
Sir,
full
I want you to answer the
conversation,
question. If he knew that, why didn't he talk about
I
that?
think he probably has talked about that, and you just don't know it
He
because
has not.
you saw a
Look, all
13-second clip, and you were like,
so wait,
"Oh,
all right. So
fuck."
look, watch this. So for me, for a living, I own a pressure washing company. Right now,
Okay,
I know
that's great.
what certain chemicals would do to your yard. So I warn people ahead of time of the preparation to take. If I don't warn them and I still do it, I'm liable for the damage I cause. Correct.
Right.
And if I know what it will do and I don't say anything, that means I'm, for the most part, intentionally causing harm to your yard.
Chemicals and pressure washing is a lot different than society.
It's called a correlation. You understand it, right? Like if you put out these
There's
numbers with your big
causation and
platform,
correlation, and it's
if
completely
you
different
have a
things.
huge platform of millions of followers and you backed by the president of the United States himself, that gives you a level of legitimacy. So you're not just a random person saying things. He has the same type of push and pull as a CNN or a Fox News by himself.
He
So
did,
when he
yes.
makes false statements or misleading stats, that right there is a huge hit against the Black American or foundational Black American community. He knows that. If he had said, well, to be honest with you, these stats are a little shaky because 53% of these all murder exonerations across all races, raw data, are Black Americans. So that means they get it wrong dealing with them. 50% of the time, it's overturned.
Okay.
That's for all murders. He knows that. If he doesn't say
Okay.
anything, that means he's intentionally
What's
demonizing Black people in America. And he
right?
knows what he's doing. That's why I said this. So I'll shrink it down. That's why I gave the example about harming somebody's plants with chemicals and not telling them ahead of time. That means I'm trying to do it on purpose. So that's the only conclusion I can draw from this. And I don't know for sure, which is why the term suspected white supremacist is thrown around. You understand it now? It's starting to make more sense to you now.
I mean, I understand. I do have a question though. Does that
But you understand it though, right? So just so we're clear, you do understand why we refer to them as suspected white supremacists, correct?
I mean, you do it to save yourself a little bit, right? I mean, you don't
No, I'm
want
saying, you understand some of the actions he's taken, which has led up to the
he
suspicion
doesn't
of him being a white
the
supremacist.
fact okay, so you're giving me stats that he doesn't talk about, but that doesn't
knows.
mean okay, he might know them, right? Or he did know them. Let's say he did know them and he didn't talk about them. Does that make the other stats that he brought up in his talking points false? or does that
You
just mean?
understand what the idea of misrepresentation is, correct?
I mean, in what context, right? Like misrepresentation in what, right? Like
Repeat that word again for me, please.
in what context? Misrepresentation in what? Like, what do you mean?
If I tell you, right, that this right here will cure a disease you have, and I don't tell you the side effects, right? Shouldn't you be told the side effects?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, cool. So you should paint the whole picture.
Yes.
When Charlie Kirk talks about that 1350%, he's only talking about the arrest. He's not talking about convictions or exonerations. Now, when there's a murder suspect, right, the first person they got wrong. Say, for example, right, let's just use him for example. You know, he got shot. They arrested 2 people they thought was the person that did it.
Right.
In statistics, that is 2 people arrested for murder. So
Sure.
that will go down in the stat line. Only 1 person will be convicted of that murder. So even though they arrested 3 people total, 1 person goes down for it. Now, he knows that. And let's say the 1 person that went down for it is now exonerated. So now that's 3 people arrested for a murder. Neither one of them committed, but the stat line didn't change. Because you have to look at a whole nother stat where it says exoneration. Him knowing that and not articulating that, because he's probably one of the most articulate people on the right outside of Ben Shapiro, he knows how to do that. The fact that he didn't and they don't do it leads to the fact that they're doing this on purpose because it gets them the clicks. Now, the same rhetoric he's been pushing, but that's why, as you can see, knowing this, and I know he knows it, well, he knew it, and he pushed it, only leads to the suspicion that he was a white supremacist.
Hold on.
So you do understand it, though, right?
I
Just want to make sure you understand.
I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think you're completely correct on it. That's okay. We can disagree.
I mean, you can disagree with it, but you
Right.
understand how I came to that conclusion.
I see what you mean. I do believe
So
that.
you understand how I came to that conclusion. Me and a lot of other people.
I get where you guys are coming from. I know what.
So just so we're clear, you understand how we came to that conclusion, right?
Understand what is propagated in the media. Yes, I know what you guys see and what you believe.
What do you mean he was the media? You tell me he was the media. That was his thing.
Okay, right. That's great.
But you understand how we come to this conclusion, right? I just want to make sure you understand this because y'all be so confused about this. So after I just broke it down to you in the King's English, you understand how we came to this conclusion.
I understand how you came to this conclusion. You did.
There you go. I'm proud of you. All right, what was your question?
I don't have a question. The original reason I came in here, right, was to talk to you personally. All right, regardless of who's watching, whatever. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I just think saying things like that about someone that's just been killed in front of thousands, millions of Americans.
Yeah, because everybody should have the right to freedom of speech and say whatever they want to say. We all free men protected under the Constitution.
Charlie,
to come in here to complain about somebody's using their free speech seems a bit hypocritical, don't you think?
No, it's fine. Good on you
So
for making fun of dead
determine
people.
wait,
Good
wait,
on
hold
you
on.
for making fun of dead people. Hey,
I mean, look, I did the same thing Charlie Kirk did.
Hey, and that doesn't make it any less wrong or any less right, does it?
But I am a lot more funnier.
Well, I mean, that means you're also a lot less serious.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
I think they should have came out with a bulletproof turtleneck.
You've already laughed about his death once on the, while we've been talking, right? So it's fine.
No, that's like the third
I
time.
understand what kind of human you are, right? You don't really have.
Oh, because y'all Charlie Kirk fans, all you do is circulate George Floyd memes. Y'all been doing that for the last
I've never posted a George Floyd meme in my life, sir. Okay.
Your brethren have, and Charlie Kirk has made a whole career denigrating George Floyd, lying about how he died. So yeah, that's mocking him. All right, he made
free Derek Chauvin. That's what he was hollering when he flexed.
Come on, 2 a.m.
So, do you disagree with the original coroner's report that George Floyd died of a drug overdose and not the knee on his neck, which was a proven tactic from the police department?
That's not true. The original report said he died for the asphyxiation.
Right.
The one came after that said fentanyl. See, now you doing this thing that y'all do, but y'all say the wrong thing.
Well,
and as a matter of fact, like, look, all right, look.
Right. Go ahead.
Now, when they said he had enough fentanyl in his system, right, to kill a person, now does that account for his his tolerance rate of fentanyl? The answer to that question is no. See, again, this is the stuff that I know for a fact he knew. People who do these drugs have a higher tolerance for them, which is kind of what drugs do. Once you get used to it, it takes a little more to get you high. Now, I'm not saying George Floyd wasn't a great person, but we just remove what we think about these individuals. We just kind of look at the case for what it is. Here's a drug addict doing drugs. His tolerance is going to be higher than a normal person. However, his knee on the neck situation is not higher than a normal person. The man sat there with his knee on his neck for what, 8 minutes or something like that, right? He literally killed a man. And it wasn't like this was somebody he didn't know. They actually had previous work history together. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And I think it's crazy that if, like the police officer took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and he decided to murder somebody in the middle of the street, surrounded by a lot of people who didn't stop him, wearing badges. I do think that if you know any cops, the cops who hate dirty cops the most are good cops. So for Charlie Kirk to try to make Derek Chauvin into an American hero for murdering a nigga in the streets, I think that's ridiculous. And this is how he gets to suspect the white supremacist term, because anytime a cop kills a black person, right, he is unequivocally on the side of the cop. Even if the cop is convicted by a jury of his peers, then it's the judges are wrong. The jury got it wrong. And it's like, wait, I thought we believed in the American system. Now we can disagree with stuff, but to denigrate the entire system because we all watched a person kill a person and say they're wrong, and then on top of that, happens to do with all the whole, his grifting off of Chicago death, and then on top of that, his views on black women. Like he said a lot of messed up stuff. I respect him for speaking his mind and staying true, but just understand, like, if you think I'm a terrible person for laughing at the fact that somebody was shot, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna try to defend myself to you because I genuinely don't give a
I
care.
mean,
But
you
that
can't
being
defend
said, I
yourself.
understand what comes. Listen, yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't care. Look, I'm
No, I mean,
indifferent about it. The point is
if
this:
you laugh about someone getting shot through the neck, you're an horrible person. I mean, that's
facts. If
objective
you
too.
say so.
That's not an
If you
opinion.
if hey,
That's an
listen.
objective
If
fact,
you
sir.
if look, listen, and if
That's an
that's your
objective
opinion,
fact.
Well,
and you are
Charlie Kirk was horrible
look,
too.
that's your opinion.
Body black.
Oh my bad. You
No,
said
it's a fact. It's not an opinion. If you laugh about someone,
Okay, well, Charlie Kirk mocked and denigrated several black people who were killed. Breonna Taylor, Trayvon
okay,
Martin.
and that's fucked up too. That's
All right,
fucked up too.
and
That's
let's
fucked up too.
together. Let's be up together and have a up dance party. Then that's
Two
how it's.
wrongs don't make it right.
We're not going to be required to take the high road. Let's all be together. Let's all share memes. All right, let's crank the memes up and share them together. Right? Hmm. This whole thing where you get to be up, but then you force us to take the moral high road. No, 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 no. You go high, you go low, I go even. Let's do that. Right? You're not going to sit here and tell us to take the high road and we got to be morally this. No, 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 no. No, if somebody want to laugh or whatever, let them do it. Now, I'm not laughing. I'm not mocking anything. I like to stay scholarly with everything. That's my thing. I like to stay scholarly with it. But if there's some people who he's like, hey, him or whatever, hey, that's their prerogative because that's what Charlie Kirk did. He denigrated several black people for dying and made excuses for every black person who got harmed in some type of public capacity. That was his whole shit.
and to be clear, I'm only laughing at the irony of the situation. That's all. I mean, man, I think the man being murdered is tragic. But I can't. The irony of him denigrating black people while being murdered by a white person, which is crazy. It's like I seen somebody say that him dying in Colorado, surrounded by a bunch of white people, was like, guess we aren't the most dangerous crowd.
Man. Thank you, Dan. Let me deal. Thank you so much, Dan. I get you back up in a minute. Let me deal with 2 a.m. But 2 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this.
But you also called me a Charlie Kirk fan, or someone did, right? And I would just like to say, I was not particularly a Charlie Kirk fan before this situation, but after, I most definitely am.
Yeah, and why is that?
I wasn't aware of some of his views or some of the things he has said. And the more I look into some of the speeches and debates that he's been into, when the people have actually approached him, even if they had differing or very opposing views, like super polar views than he did, as long as they came to him respectfully and in a way that wasn't aggressive or abrasive, He spoke with them with respect, and he spoke to them with a sense of maturity and eloquence that you don't see a lot from most of the politics, even some that are in
He,
office right now.
he
And
right.
I think that's something, and I think he was a godly man. I think he was a God fearing man. And I respect that about him because I grew up Christian, and I think that anyone that has the ability to talk respectfully to someone that has opposing views and tries to understand where they're coming from, but still offers their own view is a good person.
Well,
Even if they might have terrible views, they're still a good person because they're able to communicate with the other side,
okay.
right?
Am I a
I
good?
think that's a good. I think that's a good
Am I?
trait to have.
Am I a good person? 2 a.m. I talk eloquently and I talk respectfully. Am I a good person?
I think that anyone that goes on and starts bashing someone publicly after they've died has some issues. I'm
So
not gonna.
Charlie Kirk is not a good person then.
I would say that he may have had some issues. If that's something, like I said, that's news to me.
Char-
Maybe I've got to read some more into some of the, interviews or debates he did after the George Floyd
Not,
incident. Maybe I've got to read into some other incidents, right?
he's
And then
not a good.
I'll be able to come to a more, thorough conclusion.
Yeah.
But I,
So he's
I,
not a
I
good.
still think anyone, it's still deplorable, man. If you're talking like that about someone's death, it doesn't matter.
But
It
him.
doesn't matter.
And I have to mute you because when two people are talking, it makes it very hard for people to hear. That's why I'm muting you because you just gotta you have a habit of talking and two people talking is bad for the audience. So I got to keep them in mind. But according to your narrative, Charlie Kirk was a horrible person because that's all he did was talk negatively about black people who were harmed. Do you co-sign that?
I see again, you're using verbiage that I think's a little aggressive. You say all he did was talk about that.
Literally,
I know, sir. I've seen multiple clips where he does not talk about that. He does not talk about it. He talks about faith. He talks about God. He talks about family. He talks about work ethic. He talks about views, his opinions. He talks about freedom of.
the work ethic is working to blame black people. The God he worships is the God that allows him to denigrate black people. Everything circled back to us, sir. I don't know what God he worshiped. His God wanted him to denigrate black people.
Uh,
Charlie only claim to fame. His only claim to fame was just demonizing black people. That's it. He
that's
was
not true.
what
That's
else
not true.
what else was he
That's
known?
not true.
What
He
else?
he 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 inspired people to unite. He
White supremacy.
inspired people to believe.
He inspired white supremacists to unite. Right. That's true.
No, no, don't
Yes.
put words into my mouth, sir.
Yeah.
Come
White
on,
what
you're better than that, right?
who is he going to unite by denigrating black people? White supremacists. He
Sir,
galvanized.
he didn't denigrate black people.
Yes,
He
he did.
had talking points about racial statistics
Which were
that
lies.
you don't agree with, right?
Which were lies. Everything was a lie.
Okay, well, that's
That's
what you believe, right? That's what you.
every high profile killing of a black person, he justified it. Do you think that's okay?
I don't believe anyone being killed is okay.
He thought it was.
I don't believe he thought it was okay either. I
That's
think that
really
you
what
use some very aggressive.
you're not going to rewrite this man's history. That's all he would do. He would sit here and say black folks did something to deserve it. You must have been resisting. You must have had fentanyl. You should have just complied. It's
Sir,
always some janky excuse to justify black people getting harmed. He justified all of it, sir.
he talked about other things besides racial divide and racial issues in America.
Anything else he talked about, he would circle back to black people, sir. Name a legislative policy or achievement that he got through. You're talking about politics. He wasn't a politician. Name a policy he got through.
Sir, he wasn't in the Senate. He wasn't in the government. He was a politician as far as politics go. He was giving his opinion. That's what a politician is. They give their opinion on subjects in the
Elect
country.
politicians are elected by the public to do the bidding
You,
of the public. He
he
wasn't.
were elected politicians. He wasn't an elected politician. He became to fame because of what he said spoke to the people he was speaking to.
No,
He
no. He was propped up by far right wing money, and he was a glorified podcaster who just spewed white supremacist gibberish. Nothing more, nothing less.
That is not all he did, and
Oh,
I wouldn't even say he spewed white supremacy at all. I
yeah,
think again
yeah.
using very
You see yourself in him, so you're going to be in denial about it. But
no, sir. I just told you I wasn't originally a Charlie Kirk fan. I didn't watch a lot of his stuff, which is probably maybe why I'm not as versed as Charlie Kirk as you are, right? Maybe some of the things he said, I don't know,
uh,
right? But I will say
but
the
I
original reason I came on here was because I think it's disgusting to see some other people make fun of dead people.
and that's what he did. So he was disgusting too. So I think we're all in agreement. So he was
Okay,
disgusting.
so that's disgusting too. But I don't
So,
believe that
so
all he did was
you're
talk.
not at liberty, and you've been praising Charlie Kirk and talking about how godly he is. So you are not at liberty to point your finger. You just admitted that his actions were disgusting. If you talk about dead people, you're disgusting. That's all he did was sit.
That's not again, you keep saying all.
Okay, I'm not going to keep talking in circles with you, 2 a.m. We're not going to do this. Okay, I'm not doing the merry-go-round with you. You said,
Okay. All
oh,
right.
all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap this on up. All right. I'm gonna let you go back to that meth pipe, and I'm going to talk to the people here. You're not just going to talk in circles. Thank you so much. All right, we're not just going to keep saying the same thing.